David's regular visit to the market did not go unnoticed. The other traders began whispering about him and Anita. Some laughed, others were curious, and a few were outright skeptical. Anita, abeg tell us the truth, Mama Nkechi, the pepper seller, asked her one day. That fine rich man when they come here every day, na your boyfriend he be? Anita smiled as she arranged her fruit. Mama Nkechi, abeg leave me. David is just my customer and nothing more. Customer ke? Which customer dey buy fruits every day like say na hospital food? Another trader said, laughing. Abi o, Mama Nkechi added. Be careful, Anita. Rich men no dey serious, especially with guests wey no dey their level. Anita laughed it off, but the truth was she had started to enjoy David's company. He was charming, funny, and surprisingly humble. Yet, she reminded herself that men like David would not stick around for long, especially with women like her. That afternoon, David showed up again, carrying a box and a bouquet of flowers. Anita, he called out as he approached her store. David, you no dey tire to come here? Anita teased. Wetin you carry come this time? Open it and see, David replied as he handed her the flower and the box. Anita opened the box to reveal a set of beautiful dresses, bag, and a pair of shoes. They looked so expensive, far beyond what she could afford. What is this? Why are you buying me expensive things? She asked, her tone cautious. It's a gift, David said. You work so hard selling fruits and probably have no time for yourself. I just want to make you feel special. Anita stared at him, unsure of how to respond. David, I appreciate this, but I'm not looking for anyone to pamper me. I'm not trying to pamper you, Anita, David said softly. I just want you to know you are appreciated. Anita hesitated, then sighed. Fine, thank you, but don't think this means I'll fall for your sweet talk. David chuckled. I would not dare, but I will keep coming back until you see that I mean no harm. As David walked away, Anita found herself smiling again. Despite her best efforts to stay guarded, the whispers from the market women grew louder, but Anita pushed them aside. Deep down, she wondered if her heart was beginning to betray her. Days turned into weeks, and David's visit became part of Anita's routine. No matter how busy the market was, she found herself glancing up, hoping to see his handsome face. Even though she still teased him, Anita began to look forward to their conversations. One evening, after the market had settled down, David appeared again, this time without his usual charm. His face looked tired, and his smile seemed forced. You look like you fought with life today, Anita said, handing him a chair to sit on. David sighed deeply. Some days, I feel like all this wealth is a curse. I can't trust anyone. Everyone just wants something from me. I wonder if I would be happier without it all. Anita looked at him curiously. She had never seen him this vulnerable. Oga David, let me tell you something, she said, leaning on her table. We all have problems. Yours might be big man problem, but trust me, even small people like us, we get plenty wahala too. David chuckled softly. You are probably right, but let me ask you, Anita continued. If you did not have money, what would you be doing with your life? David paused, surprised by the question. I've never thought about that, he admitted, but maybe I would be living a simple life, somewhere peaceful with someone who sees me for who I really am. Anita smiled. Simple life. You. I can't imagine you carrying crates of fruits in this market. David laughed for the first time that evening. Who knows, maybe I will enjoy it. They fell into a comfortable silence, broken only by the faint sound of the market closing for the day. Thank you, Anita, David said suddenly. For what? She asked, confused. For just being real with me, he said. No pretense, no expectations, just you. Anita felt her cheeks warm. She quickly busied herself with rearranging her store, trying to hide her emotions. Go home, David. Tomorrow is another day. As David walked away, Anita realized her walls were beginning to crumble. No matter how much she tried to fight it, she was starting to care for him, and that scared her more than she wanted to admit. One sunny afternoon, David arrived at Anita's store earlier than usual. He was dressed casually but neatly, with a smile that made Anita roll her eyes. Anita, are you free this evening? He asked, leaning against a table. Free? Even if I am free, who told you I don't have plans? Anita shot back, raising an eyebrow. David laughed. Okay, let me rephrase that. Would you like to come to my house this evening? I want to cook dinner for you. Anita's hand froze mid-air as she arranged her fruits. Your house. Oga David, you daydream? I'm serious, David said earnestly. I want to spend time with you somewhere quiet. No market noise, no distractions, just me and you. Anita narrowed her eyes, trying to figure out if he was joking. David, rich men like you don't invite market women like me to their houses for nothing. What are you really up to? David's smile faded and he spoke softly. Anita, I respect you. I don't care where you come from or what you do. I just want to get to know you better. That's all. Anita hesitated, but something about his tone made her feel he was sincere, but she wasn't used to trusting people easily. I'll think about it, she finally said, turning her attention back to her customer. All right, David replied, smiling again. Okay, I'll keep my fingers crossed then. I will send my driver to come pick you up by 7 o'clock. Please don't disappoint me. And then he left. That evening, after much internal debate, Anita finally decided to go. She wore a simple Ankara dress and she styled her hair neatly and beautiful. As she walked out, she saw a black Bentley parked outside and a man was standing by the door of the car with a warm smile on his face as he opened the door for her to enter the car. Her heart pounded in her chest. When she arrived at Davy's house, she stood outside the beautiful mansion as she stared in disbelief. "Na palace be this?" she muttered to herself. David came to open the door himself, his face lighting up when he saw her. "You are welcome to my humble abode," he said warmly. "And I must say, you look so beautiful tonight," he added as she stepped into the house. Anita smiled, trying to hide her nervousness. But as David led her inside, Anita could not help but marvel at the beauty of his home. She tried to act unimpressed, but the luxury was overwhelming. Oga David, your home is beautiful, she said finally, shaking her head. But what am I doing here? Why did you invite me? She asked. David turned to her, his expression serious. You are here because I want you to be, and we are friends, remember? He said, smiling. You mean more to me than you realize, Anita. I hope tonight helps you to see that, he said as he led her to the dining table. David had gone all out for the evening. The dinner table was set with candles, flowers, and different kinds of dishes that smelled heavily. Anita sat down consciously, feeling out of place. You cooked all this? She asked, eyeing the food suspiciously. Yes, I did, but with a little help from my chef, David admitted, laughing. But I did the jollof rice myself. Anita chuckled to himself. We'll see if it's as good as you claim. As they ate, the conversation flowed easily. David told her stories about his childhood, his struggle to build his business, and how lonely his success had made him. Anita, in turn, shared bits of her life, how she had to drop out of school to take care of her younger siblings, and how she started a fruit business to survive. Anita, you are incredible, David said, looking at her intensely. The way you've handled everything life has thrown at you is inspiring. Anita shifted uncomfortably. David, I'm just trying to survive. There's nothing special about that. It's special to me, David replied softly. After dinner, they moved to the living room. David seemed nervous, and Anita noticed it. What's wrong with you? You are acting strange, she said. David looked at her and took a deep breath. Anita, have been wanting to say this for a while. I care about you. I think about you all the time. I want us to be more than just friends. I want you to be my girlfriend. Anita stared at him, her heart racing. David, you don't even know me. I'm just a fruit seller. What do you see in me? I see someone who is kind, hardworking, and real, David said earnestly. Someone who makes me feel alive, and I feel so free whenever I'm with you. Anita stood up, pacing the room. David, this is too much for me. You are from a different world. How can this even work between us? I don't care about our differences, David said, standing up as well. All I care about is you. I'm not asking for you to give me an answer tonight. I just want you to think about it, please. Anita nodded slowly, her mind swelling with emotions. But I will need time to think about this, she whispered. David smiled gently. Take all the time you need. I'm not going anywhere. I will be here waiting. The days following David's confession were tough for Anita. She replayed his words in her mind, trying to make sense of her own feelings. Could she trust him? Could she let herself fall for someone so different from her world? David, true to his word, did not pressure her. He still visited the market, but he never brought up the topic again. Instead, he simply spent time with her, helping out at her store and chatting with her customers. One day, after closing from the market, Anita finally made up her mind. As she walked out from the market, she found David waiting in his car nearby, as he often did. David, she said, walking up to him. You are here. Why did you not come inside? She said with a smile on her face. Well, I've thought about what you said. David stepped out of the car, his face filled with hope. And Anita took a deep breath. Although I'm still scared, but I'm willing to give this a try. If you are serious about us, then I will give you a chance. David's smile lit up the evening as he hugged her tightly. You won't regret this, Anita, I promise. Don't make promises you can't keep, Anita said, though her tone was playful. David smiled and planted a kiss on her forehead. As they drove off together that evening, Anita felt a mix of excitement and fear. She knew the road ahead would not be easy, but for the first time in a long while, she was ready to take a leap of faith. While David, on the other hand, knew he had found someone who made his world brighter, and he was determined to prove that love could bridge any gap, no matter how wide.